So welcome everybody. It's a pleasure to have you here. This is an exciting time for Supercomputing Wales and for Swansea Academy of Advanced Computing. We are undergoing through an hardware refresh, which will mean for some of us changing a little bit the way in which we do things. We will get all the details today, and I guess that's the reason why most of you are here. I'd like also to spend a few words introducing who we are and what we are doing for the benefit of those that have not been able to engage till now. So first of all, let's start by clearing some confusion. You will hear often the words Supercomputing Wales and Swansea Academy of Advanced Computing. Okay. So these are two things that are different but interconnected. So Supercomputing Wales is a WEFO project, for those who are familiar with WEFO. Okay. WEFO is the Welsh European Founding Office, and WEFO is supporting financially the bulk of the project. The way in which the WEFO funding works is that WEFO puts, well, for us, roughly 2/3 of the amount, and Swansea University invests 1/3. The cost of the project overall is 5.5 million. WEFO has been investing about 3.5-ish, and Swansea University has been putting the rest. So this is a big investment by Swansea University, as well as WEFO, for the benefit of Swansea academics. So Supercomputing Wales is a partnership between the 4 historic Welsh universities. So it involves Cardiff and Aberystwyth as well, with Bangor. The universities are interconnected. It's not necessarily a research cooperation. It's more of a logistic cooperation. So we share resources and expertise. There are 2 main systems, one in Swansea and one in Cardiff. And we will be using the Swansea system. They are more or less the same, plus there are 2 small facilities that are more oriented and tuned for data science. The Swansea Academy of Advanced Computing, of SA2C, I think that we'll have to do with the intermittent projector, is the Swansea delivery vehicle of Supercomputing Wales. We have currently 2 system administrators who are here, Gareth and Ian, sitting there, if you want to wave so that people know who you are. And we also have 6 research software engineers, where 5 currently in post and 1 joining us in mid-November. So these are Jarno, Mark, Ed, I think, has just left, Cenna at the back, and Michele over there. So these are the people you will be talking most of the times. In addition, we have also project support staff that help us with the administration related to the funding. So Supercomputing Wales, the way in which we see it, is an enabler. It provides us with the financial resources for doing something that we still wanted to do and would have found a way of doing, maybe with different resources. Currently, the funding is until 2020, although an extension until 2021 is currently being discussed. Let's now go with a bit of history, just to see what's the background of the academy. So I'll confidently say that Swansea has been at the forefront of HPC at least since the 90s, which is when I became aware of it. Maybe even before than that. For instance, I mean, a few milestones. Well, engineering has a strong group doing computational fluid dynamics, of which we will hear talk about. Also, there are other pockets of excellence, like the research in particle physics that has been done in the physics department, that allow us to procure in the early 2000s what was the first purposely made supercomputer that has been in operation in Wales. That was an Happy Mille machine back then. Well, the problem is that these groups were working in isolation, are still to some extent working in isolation. There is duplication of resources, and there is no sharing of expertise. So back a few years ago, this problem was already being spotted and discussed at a higher level, and the solution was proposed by John Tucker and Kevin Daniel, and this was the Academy of Advanced Computing, or what it has become, the Academy of Advanced Computing. Well, this idea has been fleshing out since 2015 in parallel with the opportunity to get the Supercomputing Wales grant, which was seen as an opportunity once again to get the resources to take off the ground this initiative. The Supercomputing Wales is a successor to, in many regards, to the HPC Wales project. Unlike HPC, we will hear a little bit more later on about the relationship, is more academic friendly. So all the research projects are good, provided that there is good science that informs them. Right. And the purpose of the Academy, which we are working in such a way that will outlast the project, is to provide a permanent HPC resource, and by resource I don't mean just the hardware, but also the people expertise for Swansea academics. So we are building continuity here. Okay, and for the moment we will build on top of Supercomputing Wales, and we will exploit other opportunities as they arise in the future. Well, one characteristic of the Academy is that the Academy is made for the user, and I would say it's made by the user. So your involvement is crucial and important. The Academy has been formed because it has to serve your needs. So you'll have to tell us what your needs are, and we will need to work accordingly. So we have a governance structure, and the most important part of the governance structure is the SA2C user forum, which is this venue in various forms. We plan to run events regularly, and your participation is not only welcome, but also necessary to keep the whole venture going. We need more formal committee, because the university has its own governance requirements. So at the higher level, there is an SA2C program board, which is chaired by Pro-Vice Chancellor Professor Wilkes. And then we have two committees that are mainly composed, in which mainly users serve. Again, we will hear a little bit more about that. But what I want you to take home, the message that I want you to take home, is that everything is bottom up. So it's the users who inform the committee, who inform the central board, and the arrow should not, and mostly will not, come the other way around, top down. Right, so this is where we are at the moment. You will hear more about that. You will hear all the practicalities, and you will hear some of the good things that we do on the system. What I want to remark is, what can we do for the future? Well, when I say that it was a consortium, probably it was a little bit harsh. In fact, we are much more, with the other Welsh universities, we are much more engaging, and we are much more buying into the project than ever before in any other project I was involved with. Yeah. There are initiatives that we do with them and with other partners. For instance, yesterday we hosted in Swansea Direct Date, which some of us went. And there is also another initiative that's built on top of Supercomputing Wales and the Academy. We just applied, thanks to the effort of my colleague Hertas, who is sitting on the first row, we just applied for a new KRI Center for Doctoral Training in Artificial Intelligence. And we will hear about the outcome before December, I hope. Then we need to reinforce links with national and international centers, because the way in which the supercomputing landscape works these days is that the government found some centers across the country, And then it is important that these centers are distinct, but at the same time interconnected. So we have the ATI, the Alan Turing Institute, that has expertise and should act as a focal point for artificial intelligence. We have the Software Sustainability Institute, which should give guidance on how to produce good and sustainable software, and so on and so forth. Yeah. I want just to throw one or two ideas today. I mean, at the moment, we are working loosely. We are working as a community. We are interchanging ideas, etc. Now, the question that I want to ask, is there any appetite to have a proper research institute that will be based on the fact that we are all HPC users? Yeah? So I have a thought about it and provide input today or in the following days. And obviously, if you have any other ideas, we are here to listen, as I said before. So please let us know. So this is the end of my presentation. I will soon leave you with the program that we have assembled for this day. I hope that you will like it. Once again, this is the first go we have at our whole user day in this format. And we are open to any form of feedback you can have on it. And we are certainly also looking for speakers for the next few times. We are also also interested if you can bring external speakers. We'll decide the format as we go forward. Okay, so I'll leave you into the capable hands of my colleague Mark Dawson, who will tell you what is a research software engineer. Thank you very much for the moment. Thanks.